Hey guys, welcome to the Rusty Beauty's Garage and to the next episode of the 1970 TR6 restoration, in which we're gonna install the windshield. So this is something that we started in the previous video, but after I fought for a long time with the gasket to install it on the windshield, I realized that we have the wrong windshield somehow. So we had to put that process on hold and we continued with installing other stuff, but today we can continue. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lackin. Alright, so finally we have the correct windshield and it comes with a frame. That's how John bought it, used of course. So we're gonna take the windshield out and we're gonna install it on the car now. To take it out, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut this gasket. It is pretty stiff anyways. I'm sure it is 40 years old at least. So we're gonna just cut it and it's gonna save us time and troubles, because if we try to remove it and save the gasket, it's gonna crack. Then we're gonna clean the residues of the old gasket from the edge of the glass, and then we're gonna install the new gasket. So here I'm not using any lubricant. Usually I use soapy water, but I want here the glass to have a little bit of friction with the gasket, because lately the gaskets that are available are not great and they're pretty hard to install on the windshield. I mean, when you put one corner in, the other one comes out and it's just a disaster. So I prefer to have a little bit of friction between the glass and the rubber, so once I put it in, it stays and it doesn't come out. It's harder to put it on without any lubricant, but it is easier to keep it on. Once we have the gasket on the windshield, then we're going to use a lubricant for the part where the gasket goes over the windshield frame. Then we're going to take a 10 gauge electrical wire and we're going to put it inside the channel, which channel is supposed to go over the lip of the windshield frame. And here, as you can see, I'm using soapy water, and I figured that the insulation of the electrical wire has much less friction with the rubber, especially with the soapy water, and it's much easier to pull it out and put the lip over the windshield frame, which you're gonna see me doing in the next few minutes. All right, so we are back on the same step after the whole saga with the windshield. This time we have the correct one. So I'm gonna put it on the frame, starting with the bottom, and I'm gonna try to put the lip, this lip, in the channel already. So at least one of the four sides we can put in to begin with, and that's gonna be the bottom, and then we're gonna continue from there. I'm gonna try to center it, more or less. So we are kind of inside. Of course it needs to go much lower, but we're gonna start now by pulling this lip. We're gonna start pulling it out here and pushing the windshield down at the same time. It's not gonna stay. We might pull the gasket. You see, I'm pushing the gasket down a little bit. So that's the first step, putting it down from here to the other end while pushing down on the windshield at the same time. And we're gonna start pulling the wire here, even though at the bottom we probably don't need it, but we have it there just in case. It's really helpful if you don't have seats in the car, so you can go inside and just walk left and right inside the car. So I'm gonna try from the other side as well. Having soapy water there helps a lot. Okay. So again, I'm gonna push the gasket down. Of course, we're gonna make sure that it doesn't come out of the windshield here. And then later we're gonna push the windshield down on it. Probably not gonna stay out, this lip. Probably is gonna start coming in again, but we're gonna keep coming out and taking it out with the stick. Now let's go inside. Now let's start pulling the wire. making sure that the gasket stays on the inside. The lip that we're pulling out with the wire stays on the inside of the metal flange. And I'm pushing the gasket down. Also, it's helpful every once in a while to push the windshield down, because eventually it's gonna go down into the groove here of the gasket. So that's the idea of the wire, to pull the lip out. I'm gonna go outside, make sure that lip is still out, which it is. You see now here, so far the lip was out anyway because of how we put the windshield, but now here it starts to go on the other side of the flange. So here it's important to make sure that it stays on this side. Okay, now let's see if we can push the windshield down a little bit more. Yes, it went into its groove. I don't know if you saw that. Now we're gonna try to turn this corner, and here it's important to keep pushing down. See, now we missed here a little bit, so we're gonna try to pull it out again. I'm pushing down on the window with my right hand. Okay, let's pull a little bit more. Again, pushing down. Okay, it went down. Also making sure that the external lip is on the outside again. Okay, let's do the same on the other side now. First I'm gonna make sure the external lip is on the outside. Now again, pushing down with my left hand. With my right hand I'm pulling the gasket, pulling the wire on this side. Same thing happened. Okay. I'll push harder on the windshield. Yeah, it went down a little. Make sure that the other side is still down. And now we can continue here. I sprayed soapy water in advance, but if you feel like it is dry, you can spray more. Okay, once we're here, I'm gonna make sure again the two corners are fitted well, including the one next to you. Yeah, it's good. Okay, again, very important to keep pushing on the windshield down. It might need to come this way, the whole windshield, so I'm gonna go bang on the other side. You know what, let's do the other side now. Here the vinyl is trying to come out, so we're gonna tuck it under. Okay, push it down. And now we're gonna see if we can turn the corner here. So here, if we just pull, because it's super tight, it's possible to rip the gasket. So I'm gonna just twist like that. Pull a little bit, pull up, then pull a little bit more, pull up, and like that. Slowly, slowly, it's gonna go. Needs to go lower though. Okay. Okay. Perfect. So now the windshield here is out a little bit, but we don't want to push this corner in before we turn the corner on the other side, because that's gonna twist the whole windshield and might crack it. So we're gonna leave it out, but once we push the other one in, naturally this end is gonna come in too, and the gasket is gonna twist as well, and this lip is gonna come where it belongs. So let's go back to the other side. Oh, that was too much. And we need to catch up now with the lip that stayed behind. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to turn the corner and I'm gonna pull this later, but no, it keeps coming back. Okay, now it stayed. So let's turn the corner now. And as we turn the corner, the windshield comes more and more in the top end. There you go. So now we are at the same stage as the other side. I don't know if I should turn the lights in the shop. Let's turn off the lights. Maybe that's better. Okay, we're gonna work without lights. As I'm pushing down on the windshield, the gasket flips under, right? Constantly pushing with this hand in. Not too hard, so don't twist the window. Just coming towards the center, doing the same thing. So the lip barely stays on this side, but you will see now we're gonna push in on the outside once we have the whole gasket out. Well, the lip, I mean, it's gonna be out here. There you go. So now I'm gonna go push on the outside and watch the gasket turning. Or should we watch from outside? Maybe we should look from outside. Okay, the lights are back on, and now watch the whole top end of the window going in. You see? That's what I mean. And now the gasket twisted, and that lip, I'm sure, is in the right place. There you go. So the lip came where it belongs. We're gonna check everywhere to make sure that there's no parts that are still tucked in, but I think it all came out. Good. Now we're gonna do the same on the outside, especially at the bottom. Sometimes it remains tucked in, so we're gonna go like this everywhere. And that was the hard part. Now for the easy part, which many people are scared of, but believe me, there's nothing to be scared about. So we're gonna take our beading and we're gonna start from the center at the bottom. And if we start coming this way, of course, we're gonna take this end, because naturally it's gonna try to make the turn. This end is not great, so I'm gonna cut it off. Cuts off with just scissors, if you have good scissors. So here we have some orientation for the center. We're gonna start from there, but first we're gonna spray soapy water everywhere. And I'm gonna take my stick and I'm gonna make sure that it goes in the water. Maybe I should open a little bit here. This is important to be slippery. I know, that's what she said, right? Okay, that's enough. And now we can start putting it in, and we're just gonna tuck the one corner so it's T-shaped, so the bottom, the stem of the T can go in the channel, and I'm gonna leave it just a little bit past the center because as I'm going in, it's possible that it's gonna move. The strip is usually about 2-3 inches longer, so we can always cut both ends if we have to. But sometimes it slips. And then we're gonna take a rubber mallet, believe it or not, and we're gonna start putting it in. You see how it moved. So this is the part that everybody's scared of. I don't know why, but there's nothing wrong with it. Super easy. Now when I'm here, it's not gonna move anymore, so I might just try and slip it this way a little bit to be centered. Okay, it's moved actually. Now it's centered. Okay, and now we're gonna go. The corners are the toughest part because naturally the channel goes tight on the curve. So there we have to be careful. But as long as we make sure that the stem of the T is right above the channel, it goes in easy. I'll show you the corner close to you after. I'm gonna zoom you in. Okay, and when we come to the center, now we can decide where exactly and cut it. There you go. Now we're gonna put our finisher. Okay, push it all the way. Perfect. And this now should go in. And now we can push this back a little. There you go. Center this, the mark. And just like that, we have a windshield. And I'm just gonna go around one more time, up everywhere. That's gonna release if while there's soapy water still inside. If there's tension somewhere in the gasket, and supposedly it's gonna release it and slip into place. Well, I think that's gonna be a good ending for this video. I actually installed the aerial as well because there was a big hole there that was bothering me. I just want to start closing all the holes that are everywhere on the car. So next I think I'm gonna start dealing with the bumper, so I can have at least the front end complete, and then we're gonna move to the next steps, which I think we're gonna do the interior as well, so we can have this area complete, and then the rear bumper. And once we have the rear bumper, it's gonna be looking complete, at least the car. And then there's thousands other projects that I still need to do. I can't even start counting them, there's so many. Like these last steps to finish the car are always taking a long time because there's so many details, and people are like, okay, now it's painted, let's just assemble it and take it on the road. No, there's so many other things, but we're gonna get there. So I'm glad that she's taking a shape finally, because she's been taken apart since, I don't know, well, she's been off the road for, I don't know, 30 years probably, but I started taking her apart in 2018, I believe, if not earlier, maybe 17. I don't remember. So it's 2024 now, so it's 7 years later. Well, 7 years for restoration, it's almost okay. In my standards, right? Ask Anna. Anyway, okay guys, that's gonna be everything for today. Stay tuned for more finishing videos on this car. It's exciting now. John is really excited as well. He came twice in 2 days to bring more parts, bumpers and seats and stuff like that. So yeah, I really want to finish her for him, so he can enjoy it for the rest of the summer, and also for me to be able to move on to other projects, because I have many other small projects that are waiting. But yeah, we're gonna do them one by one. So stay tuned for all of that. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing, sharing, supporting me financially. That's really appreciated on Patreon and PayPal. If you're not a supporter and you wish to become one, there's details in the description of the video showing how you can support me with $1, $2, $5, $10, $100, whatever you want. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you. See you in the next one. Bye.